Welcome to the Pariksha Academy. Today's topic is formation of the Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly. Meaning and need for the Constituent Assembly. A Constituent Assembly is a representative body whose primary function is to frame the constitution of a country. The Constitution of India was framed by the Constituent Assembly. The purpose of the Constituent Assembly was to create a constitutional framework for independent India covering the system of government, rights of citizens, center-state relations and constitutional institutions. The Indian Constituent Assembly was not constituted through direct election based on universal adult franchise. Most of its members were indirectly elected. The Constituent Assembly was constituted mainly on the basis of the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946. Development of the idea of a Constituent Assembly. The idea of a Constituent Assembly for India was first put forward by M. N. Roy in 1934. M. N. Roy was one of the prominent figures associated with the communist movement in India. In 1935, the Indian National Congress officially accepted the demand for a Constituent Assembly. In 1938, Jawaharlal Nehru declared that the Constitution of Free India should be framed by a Constituent Assembly chosen by the Indian people. The Congress demanded that there should be no interference by any external authority in the constitution-making process. Through the August Offer of 1940, the British government accepted for the first time in principle the right of Indians to frame their own constitution. The Crooks Proposals of 1942 proposed the creation of a constitution-making body after the Second World War. The Crooks Proposals were not accepted by either the Congress or the Muslim League. Finally, the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946 provided a practical scheme for the formation of the Constituent Assembly. Cabinet Mission and the Constituent Assembly. The Cabinet Mission arrived in India in March 1946. The Cabinet Mission consisted of 3 members. Lord Patrick Lawrence was its leading member. Sir Stafford Cripps was the second member. A. V. Alexander was the third member. The Cabinet Mission Plan was announced on 16 May 1946. The Indian Constituent Assembly was constituted on the basis of this plan. The total proposed strength of the Constituent Assembly was 389. Of these, 292 members were allotted to the British Indian provinces, 4 members were allotted to the Chief Commissioner's provinces, 93 members were allotted to the princely states. Thus, 296 seats were allotted to British Indian territories and 93 seats to the princely states. Basis of representation. The principle of approximately 1 representative for every 1 million people was adopted for representation in the Constituent Assembly. Seats in the British Indian provinces were distributed broadly on the basis of population. Provincial seats were mainly distributed among the general, Muslim and Sikh communities in proportion to their population. The provincial representatives were elected by the elected members of the provincial legislative assemblies. The election was indirect. The system of proportional representation was followed. The method of single transferable vote was used. Representatives of the princely states were to be nominated by their rulers. Therefore, the Constituent Assembly was not a completely elected body. The Constituent Assembly was not formed on the basis of universal adult franchise. Elections to the Constituent Assembly. Elections to the Constituent Assembly were held in July and August 1946. Of the 296 seats allotted to British Indian territories, the Congress won 208 seats. The Muslim League won 73 seats. The remaining seats were won by other parties and independent candidates. The Muslim League initially boycotted the Constituent Assembly. The Muslim League was demanding a separate Constituent Assembly for Pakistan. First meeting of the Constituent Assembly. The first meeting of the Constituent Assembly was held in New Delhi on 9 December 1946. The Muslim League did not participate in the first meeting. Dr. Satchidananda Sinha, the oldest member of the Constituent Assembly, was appointed its temporary president. The practice of appointing the oldest member as temporary president was based on the tradition of the French Constituent Assembly. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected permanent president of the Constituent Assembly on 11 December 1946. H.C. Mukherjee was elected vice president of the Constituent Assembly. Later, V.T. Krishnamachari was also made a vice president. Sir B.N. Rao was appointed constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly. B.N. Rao was not a member of the Constituent Assembly. B.N. Rao studied the constitutional systems of various countries and provided important technical assistance in the constitution-making process. Objectives Resolution. Jawaharlal Nehru introduced the Objectives Resolution in the Constituent Assembly on 13 December 1946. The Objectives Resolution was a document that laid down the basic philosophy of the Constitution and the direction of the future constitutional system. The Constituent Assembly adopted the Objectives Resolution on 22 January 1947. The Objectives Resolution envisaged India as an independent sovereign republic. It recognized the people of India as the ultimate source of authority. It emphasized the ideals of justice, equality and freedom. It provided for adequate safeguards for minorities, backward classes and tribal areas. The Objectives Resolution later became the philosophical foundation of the preamble to the Constitution. Changes after independence. The decision to partition India was taken on the basis of the Mountbatten Plan of 3 June 1947. As a result of the Indian Independence Act of 1947, separate constituent assemblies came into existence for India and Pakistan. After partition, the strength of the Indian Constituent Assembly was reduced from 389 to 299. Of these, 229 members represented the provinces, 70 members represented the princely states. After independence, the Indian Constituent Assembly became a fully sovereign body. Its powers were no longer dependent upon the authority of the British Parliament. The Constituent Assembly also functioned as the central legislature while framing the Constitution. When the Constituent Assembly met for constitution making, it was presided over by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. When it functioned as a legislative body, it was presided over by G.V. Mavalinkar. Constitution making and legislative functions were performed on separate days. National flag and the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly adopted the national flag of India on 22 July 1947. The tricolour was accepted as the national flag of independent India. The Ashoka Chakra was placed at the centre of the national flag. Major committees of the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly constituted several committees to organize the vast task of constitution making. The committees of the Constituent Assembly are generally classified into major committees and other committees. The Union Powers Committee was chaired by Jawaharlal Nehru. The Union Constitution Committee was chaired by Jawaharlal Nehru. The Provincial Constitution Committee was chaired by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. The Advisory Committee on Fundamental Rights, Minorities and Tribal and Excluded Areas was chaired by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. The Drafting Committee was chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The Steering Committee was chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. The Rules of Procedure Committee was chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. The Finance and Staff Committee was chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. The States Committee for Negotiating with the Princely States was chaired by Jawaharlal Nehru. The Committee on the Functions of the Constituent Assembly was chaired by G.V. Mavalinkar. The Ad Hoc Committee on the National Flag was chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. The Ad Hoc Committee on the Supreme Court was chaired by S. Varadachari. Subcommittees of the Advisory Committee. Several important subcommittees were constituted under the Advisory Committee headed by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. The Fundamental Rights Subcommittee was chaired by J.B. Kripalani. The Minorities Subcommittee was chaired by H.C. Mukherjee. The North-East Frontier Tribal Areas and Assam Excluded and Partially Excluded Areas Subcommittee was chaired by Gopinath Bordoloi. The Excluded and Partially Excluded Areas other than Assam Subcommittee was chaired by A.V. Thakkar. Drafting Committee. The drafting committee was constituted on 29 August 1947. The drafting committee originally consisted of 7 members. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee. N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar was a member. Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer was a member. K. M. Munshi was a member. Syed Muhammad Sadullah was a member. B. L. Mitter was a member. D. P. Khaitan was a member. B. L. Mitter resigned on grounds of ill health and was replaced by N. Madhava Rao. After the death of D. P. Khaitan, T. T. Krishnamachari was appointed as a member. The principal task of the drafting committee was to give legal and constitutional form to the draft constitution. Dr. Ambedkar played an exceptionally important role as chairman of the drafting committee. For this reason, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is generally regarded as the chief architect of the Indian Constitution. Initial draft of the Constitution. Constitutional advisor B. N. Rao played an important role in preparing the initial draft of the Constitution. B. N. Rao studied the constitutional systems of various countries. He studied the constitutional arrangements of countries including the United States, Canada, Ireland and Britain. The drafting committee proceeded on the basis of the initial material prepared by B. N. Rao and the reports of various committees of the Constituent Assembly. The drafting committee gave systematic legal form to the draft constitution. Publication of the draft constitution. The draft constitution prepared by the drafting committee was published in February 1948. It was made available to the public for comments and suggestions. The suggestions and comments received were considered. A revised draft was prepared after making necessary changes. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar formally introduced the draft constitution in the Constituent Assembly on 4 November 1948. Consideration of the Constitution. The draft constitution was extensively debated in the Constituent Assembly. The consideration of the draft constitution broadly took place through 3 readings. The first reading involved a general discussion on the principles and framework of the Constitution. The second reading involved detailed clause-by-clause consideration of the constitutional provisions. A large number of amendments were moved and considered during this stage. The third reading involved the final discussion on the adoption of the Constitution. The third reading began on 14 November 1949. The Constitution was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949. Amendments during Constitution making. Thousands of amendments relating to different provisions of the Constitution were placed before the Constituent Assembly. Approximately 7,635 amendments were proposed. Approximately 2,473 amendments were actually moved and discussed in the Constituent Assembly. These figures demonstrate the extensive deliberation and debate involved in the constitution-making process. Time taken to frame the Constitution. The Constituent Assembly took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to frame the Constitution. The Constituent Assembly held a total of 11 sessions. The Constituent Assembly met for a total of 165 days. Approximately 114 days were spent considering the draft constitution. The Constituent Assembly debates remain an important historical source for interpreting the development and meaning of the Indian Constitution. Expenditure on constitution making. The constitution making process cost approximately 64 lakh rupees. The expenditure reflects the extensive nature of the constitutional process undertaken under the circumstances of that period. Original Constitution. The Constitution as originally adopted contained 395 articles. The original Constitution was divided into 22 parts. The original Constitution contained 8 schedules. The preamble expresses the ideals and objectives of the Constitution. Most provisions of the Constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. Adoption of the Constitution. The Constituent Assembly adopted, enacted and gave to itself the Constitution on 26 November 1949. Therefore, 26 November has special constitutional significance. India observes 26 November as Constitution Day. Certain provisions of the Constitution came into force on 26 November 1949 itself. The remaining principal provisions came into force on 26 January 1950. Reason for choosing 26 January. On 26 January 1930, Purna Swaraj Day had been observed during the Indian national movement. To honor the historical significance of that date, the principal provisions of the Constitution were brought into force on 26 January 1950. India became a republic on 26 January 1950. Signing of the Constitution. Members of the Constituent Assembly signed the final copies of the Constitution on 24 January 1950. Handwritten copies of the Constitution were prepared in Hindi and English. The handwritten English copy of the Constitution was written by Prem Bihari Narendraizada. The artistic decoration of the original copies of the Constitution was associated with Nandlal Bose and the artists of Shantiniketan. The final copies of the Constitution were signed by 284 members. Important decisions of 24 January 1950. The final meeting of the Constituent Assembly was held on 24 January 1950. On the same day, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected the first President of independent India. On the same day, the Constituent Assembly adopted Jana Gana Mana as the national anthem of India. Vande Mataram was accorded honor in recognition of its historic role in the national movement. Important personalities of the Constituent Assembly. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the permanent president of the Constituent Assembly. Dr. Satchidananda Sinha was the temporary president of the Constituent Assembly. H.C. Mukherjee was vice president of the Constituent Assembly. B.N. Rao was the constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee. Jawaharlal Nehru introduced the Objectives Resolution. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel played a major role in committees dealing with fundamental rights, minorities and provincial constitutional arrangements. G.V. Mavalinkar played an important role in the legislative functions of the Constituent Assembly. K.M. Munshi, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar and T.T. Krishnamachari were among the important contributors to the constitution-making process. Women members of the Constituent Assembly. Women played an important role in the Constituent Assembly. There were initially 15 women members in the Constituent Assembly. Hansa Mehta was a prominent woman member of the Constituent Assembly. Durgabai Deshmukh was a member of the Constituent Assembly. Rajkumari Amrit Kaur was a member of the Constituent Assembly. Sucheta Kripalani was a member of the Constituent Assembly. Dakshayani Velayudhan was a member of the Constituent Assembly. Begum Aizaz Rasool was a prominent woman member of the Constituent Assembly. Ammu Swaminathan was a member of the Constituent Assembly. Sarojini Naidu was a member of the Constituent Assembly. Renuka Ray and Purnima Banerjee were also members of the Constituent Assembly. Women members contributed significantly to debates concerning equality, women's rights, social justice and civil liberties. Nature of the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly was initially not a fully sovereign institution because it had been constituted under the Cabinet Mission Plan of the British government. Its position changed significantly after the Indian Independence Act of 1947. After independence, the Constituent Assembly became a sovereign constitution-making body. The Constituent Assembly was not directly elected. Its provincial representatives were indirectly elected. The method of selecting representatives of the princely states was different from that of the provinces. Despite this, representatives from different regions, communities and political viewpoints participated in the assembly. The Constituent Assembly was not limited to constitution making. After independence, it also performed legislative functions. Criticism of the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly was criticized because it was not directly elected on the basis of universal adult franchise. It was also criticized for the dominant position of the Congress within the Assembly. Some critics argued that it was not a completely representative institution. In its initial stage, it was criticized for not being fully sovereign because it had been constituted under a British plan. The amount of time taken to frame the constitution was also criticized. Some critics described the constitution as excessively detailed and heavily influenced by foreign constitutions. Despite these criticisms, the Constituent Assembly witnessed extensive debates representing different political, social, religious and regional viewpoints. The consideration of a large number of amendments demonstrates its deliberative character. Major achievements of the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly framed a written constitution for independent India. It provided a constitutional foundation for parliamentary democracy. It established the system of fundamental rights. It incorporated the directive principles of state policy. It established an independent judiciary. It gave judicial review an important place in the constitutional system. It adopted a federal system with a strong center. It accepted universal adult franchise. It established the goals of social, economic and political justice. It gave constitutional expression to the ideals of liberty, equality and fraternity. It created an institutional foundation for a secular and democratic system of government. It provided a constitutional framework for politically integrating a country characterized by extensive social, cultural, linguistic and regional diversity. Most important dates. In 1934, M. N. Roy proposed the idea of a Constituent Assembly. In 1935, the Congress officially demanded a Constituent Assembly. The August offer was made in 1940. The Cripps Mission came to India in 1942. The Constituent Assembly was constituted in 1946 on the basis of the Cabinet Mission Plan. The first meeting of the Constituent Assembly was held on 9 December 1946. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected permanent president on 11 December 1946. Jawaharlal Nehru introduced the Objectives Resolution on 13 December 1946. The Objectives Resolution was adopted on 22 January 1947. The national flag was adopted on 22 July 1947. The drafting committee was constituted on 29 August 1947. The draft constitution was published in February 1948. Dr. Ambedkar introduced the draft constitution before the Constituent Assembly on 4 November 1948. The constitution was adopted on 26 November 1949. Members signed the final copies of the constitution on 24 January 1950. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected the first President of India on 24 January 1950. Jana Gana Mana was adopted as the national anthem on 24 January 1950. The principal provisions of the Constitution came into force and India became a republic on 26 January 1950. Final revision. The idea of a Constituent Assembly was first proposed by M. N. Roy in 1934. The Indian National Congress officially demanded a Constituent Assembly in 1935. The Constituent Assembly was constituted under the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946. The original strength of the Constituent Assembly was 389. After partition, its strength was reduced to 299. The first meeting of the Constituent Assembly was held on 9 December 1946. Dr. Satchidananda Sinha was the temporary president. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the permanent president. H. C. Mukherjee was vice president. B. N. Rao was the constitutional advisor. Jawaharlal Nehru introduced the Objectives Resolution. The Objectives Resolution was introduced on 13 December 1946 and adopted on 22 January 1947. The drafting committee was constituted on 29 August 1947. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar was chairman of the drafting committee. The drafting committee originally consisted of 7 members. The draft constitution was introduced before the Constituent Assembly on 4 November 1948. The Constituent Assembly took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to frame the constitution. It held 11 sessions and met for a total of 165 days. Approximately 114 days were spent considering the draft constitution. Approximately 7,635 amendments were proposed and approximately 2,473 were actually moved and discussed. The constitution was adopted on 26 November 1949. The final copies of the constitution were signed on 24 January 1950. The final constitution was signed by 284 members. The principal provisions of the constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. The original constitution contained 395 articles, 22 parts and 8 schedules. The Constituent Assembly adopted the national flag on 22 July 1947. The Constituent Assembly adopted Jana Gana Mana as the national anthem on 24 January 1950. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected the first President of India on 24 January 1950. The provincial representatives of the Constituent Assembly were indirectly elected. The system of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote was used. The Constituent Assembly was not directly elected on the basis of universal adult franchise. After independence, the Constituent Assembly became a sovereign constitution-making body. The Constituent Assembly also functioned as the initial central legislature of independent India while carrying out the task of framing the constitution. Thank you very much for joining us. For more useful study material, please like and share this video, and subscribe to the Pariksha Academy channel.